Hello YouTubers and welcome back to Dart Baseball. This is video 2 of the series where we will be covering basic rules of gameplay, etiquette, and materials. In our first video, we established that you as the dart thrower are the pitcher. That is the defense, not the batter, the offense, which is the common misconception. Moving on from that, we will now go over 6 basic points of gameplay before establishing the rules of each zone of the dartboard. Point number 1. You will need something to write on for keeping score. You can use a pencil and paper, but I have found that much like cricket and English darts, a dry erase or chalkboard located next to the board proves to be the most efficient. It should go without saying that players must have at least a basic knowledge of baseball in order to understand gameplay. 3 strikes and you're out, 4 balls is a walk, 3 outs changes side, etc. If you don't know anything about baseball, you should probably watch some videos on basic baseball rules before you start attempting to play dart baseball. To start off, you will draw a basic box score. We have 9 innings. We have the visitors at the top and the home team at the bottom, just like in real baseball. It's also wise to make some kind of a diamond configuration in order to mark the runners on base. I also down here I have an O, which is to mark my outs, and then an R to mark my runs scored. These are going to be temporary and they will be erased once the inning changes sides, and the final score will be recorded in the box score. Now, I've gotten good enough at this game where I can keep track of balls and strikes in my head, but if you're a beginner, you may want to also put some other additional marking for balls and strikes so you don't lose track of those within rounds. If you've ever watched a Major League Baseball game, then you will notice in the corner of the screen somewhere there's always some kind of a graphic that keeps track of runners on base, outs, balls and strikes, etc. That's what we're going for here, to record our temporary information before recording into the permanent box score. In the event of extra innings, this box score can always be extended infinitely. Just like in real baseball, the game isn't over until it's over, as Yogi Berra said. Point number 2, beginning gameplay. As in actual baseball, the visitors bat first. That means that the home team pitches first. So if you are the one beginning the game, you can decide however you want with a coin flip or youngest person goes first, however. Doesn't matter. But whoever throws the darts first is the home team. So the first scores of the game will be recorded here in the visitor box, because remember, you are the home team pitching. The scores that are happening are not yours. They are the visitors. That is why the visitor is at the top and the home team at the bottom. The pitcher has 3 darts. He will throw them one at a time, attempting to achieve 3 outs and not allowing any runs. Now, he does not have to get 3 outs with these 3 darts. He can go back and retrieve the darts, and that is a good time to mark his temporary scores before the inning is over. You can go back and forth getting the darts as many times as you need to before the inning changes sides. Once the pitcher has achieved his 3 outs, the final score is recorded in the box, and then the darts are then passed over to the opponent. This is what I'm referring to as etiquette. When you are doing all of this in an orderly fashion, the game can move along and all information can be recorded without any confusion or having to remember unnecessary things. After you've passed your darts over to your opponent, it is good etiquette to erase your temporary information. That way there isn't anything left on the board to confuse anybody for the next round. Point number 3. Every dart thrown results in a play action. There is no such thing as nothing. In other words, every single dart that gets thrown counts as something. The basic rule is even if a dart misses the board entirely, it still counts as a ball. Point number 4. As in real baseball, there are multiple ways to make outs. Strike out, throw out, fly out, etc. So it is possible to make outs based off of the previous dart thrown. However, once the pitcher has used the 3 darts in his hand, a play cannot result from the 3rd dart thrown, and whatever result of that dart before going to retrieve them is final. This becomes important when deciding strategy, and will make more sense as we move on with the rules and begin to understand the different zones of the board. Also, a player cannot retrieve his darts until all 3 have been thrown. Point number 5. The game can be played by 2 people, individuals, or using teams, taking turns pitching. Keep in mind, you are not a dugout of hitters, you are more like a bullpen of pitchers. So, if a group wants to establish their own rules governing who gets to pitch when, that should be done prior to the beginning of the game. As in cricket, you'll see that in many ways the game can be adjusted to player handicap and nuances, allowing the game to be either highly competitive or dumbed down to a more slop version for the novice. Again, this will make more sense as we begin to learn the board zones. Also, this is a good game to play against yourself, similar to chess. You can go ahead and pitch the top of the inning and also pitch the bottom of the inning, and it's a good way to start learning. Point number 6, the Aukie. For those who don't know what the Aukie is, the Aukie is the line that you stand on when throwing the darts, and the distance from the board to the Aukie, we use the official English dart distance, which is 7 feet 9 1/4 inches or 2.37 meters. Now, in dart baseball, this can be adjusted depending on handicap, which we will get into more later when we start learning more about these zones. Also, the height of the board is the same as in English darts. From the bull to the ground, we use the distance of 5 feet 8 inch or 1.73 meters. Okay, so that covers basic rules of gameplay, scoring, materials, and etiquette. In the next video, we're finally going to be covering all of these zones and tell you what they mean and how they relate to what we've learned so far, as well as showing you a simulated game, and after that, you should be ready to play on your own. So, thank you, and I'll see you in video 3. Please remember to like and subscribe.